What an action-packed chapter this was. Oh boy, let me tell you, the fight between Zoro and Kaku is some next-level shit. Ooh boy!
One Piece, chapter 417, Asura, or maybe Azura.
Man, I tell you, these they get the heart going, you know? Oh. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the cleverly woven, intricately detailed and told, wonderfully drawn and realized tale of One Piece. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw us with really the focal point of the second half, or the latter half of the chapter, being the fight between Zoro and Kaku. And for the most part, it was just kind of a back-and-forth affair where Zoro, although not really, losing, he's not really winning either, And both are kind of digging deep into their pockets to pull out, new movesets and improve upon already established movesets. So very cool stuff, but really it was, kind of left off on like a, oh, you don't underestimate me. Oh, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. They've just been talking shit while they're fighting. So that's where things left off. That's where things pick up. This chapter solely focuses on the fight. That's what it is. It's 20 or 22 pages of nothing but non-stop bloodbath, awesome freaking action, right? And Kaku at first is going, and he's looking like he's starting to be a pretty formidable opponent, As funny as it is to see some of his giraffe moves, he's able to go and kind of like cork his neck up and pull it in almost and like use like almost like a spring-loaded cannon almost, to do this giraffe blast, which is pretty much just like an upgraded version of his nose pistol, except for it certainly hits like a bigger area, And he comes at Zoro with that, and Zoro's trying to block and he's trying to dodge, and all the different things that Kaku's doing. It's funny because I don't know, a few pages into this chapter in this portion of the battle, Zoro says, "Listen, your long neck, your this, your that, your legs, your style of this, your style of that. None of those things are going to be able to beat me. Bottom line." And that's what I love about it. Just that confidence, just exuding, just that confidence just oozing and emanating from Zoro's pores, right? And you got to remember, Zoro is some next level shit too. This is a dude that can go, and I mean, this is a guy who back in Little Garden was starting to hack through his own legs with the intention of hacking off his own legs. This is a guy who just a few chapters ago was telling Sniper King, let's paper, rock, scissors for it, and whoever loses is going to cut off their hand to get rid of these handcuffs and then run to Chopper to go have it sewed back on. I don't know if he thinks he's just some kind of doll or what, but even Sniper King, Usopp was, holy, shit, what, you're nuts, right? But Zoro, we know, is willing to take it to the next level, right? And that's what I like about him. So as this battle rages on and goes back and forth, eventually we wind up having Kaku go and break out and use this four-sword style technique. He's able to come at, Zoro. And Zoro, for the most part, even though he's taken some damage, he's blocking and dodging a lot of the attacks. And he's still, kind of just getting in those little verbal jabs at Kaku as well. Like I said from the beginning, though, for some reason, Kaku just strikes me as he doesn't seem as just like as involved, as into the whole CP9 thing. And I could be wrong about this, but my family and I, we just started yesterday, actually going into the Water 7, and we watched like, I don't know, 7 or 8 episodes, something like that. And, and Kaku is like one of the first guys that actually kind of had, that were introduced to of the Galileo foreman, formerly, and I don't know, or formerly, I guess you'd say. And not formerly, I don't know what the hell I'm using that word for. But anyway, there's just something about it. It seems like he just doesn't seem as intimidating and menacing, as some of the other CP9 members, And don't get me wrong, I don't think he's a pushover. I don't think he's no joke, but I just feel like we're going to wind up seeing or finding out something more about him later on, And who knows? Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But like I said, getting off topic over there. So back to the fight at hand, and I mean, it's just beautiful, beautifully realized, page after page over here, as we get into the different stuff, He winds up using, the draft blast. He winds up using a dragon twister, on Kaku, knocks him up into the air. Kaku goes and winds up trying to, and I love this too, and he's just like, what the hell is this? He goes, jump to a higher thing. He goes and Kaku at one point actually says that he's like a pasta machine. He's like, if dough goes in, it can go out, So, and then he's like, if I can control the length of my neck and my legs, I can use swords to full effect, and that's where he goes and breaks out the four sword style over here, So just page after page of just awesome stuff, Zoro goes and uses a 3 sword style, leopard spinning balls. He winds up using on him. And Kaku at this point is, and I love this, not one of those is a reason that you'll beat me. So the bottom line is what winds up happening as the chapter goes on is Zoro isn't so much toying with Kaku as he's just basically confident in his ability, that there's nothing that Kaku can bring at him that's going to be able to take him down. And we know, of course, that Zoro can take just massive amounts of damage as well. So many of these attacks, I mean, he's taken on, and he starts to get to the point where I feel that Kaku mentally is not into it as much, because he knows that this guy is another level. He's the next level. He's something else that he can't take out. And as tough as that would be for anybody to admit, especially in the midst of a battle, you can see, because Kaku, as he goes and does his iron body for a couple of attacks, he's like, wow, the strength, the power, At one point he goes and he says, man, for a second there I saw a demon, a demon with 9 swords and everything else, and I was like, oh wow, like the aura of a demon, And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, right? So then as we get towards the end of the chapter, I love this, man, how he goes and he winds up, Kaku uses this Tempest Kick Shuriken, and winds up obviously firing a bunch of shurikens at him, And Zoro is just like, you know what, I'm not having any of that stuff, man. He winds up, but I mean, he's hitting him, don't get me wrong. He's got Whiplash, Fierce Smash, all this other stuff, that he's going and pulling out on him. But the thing about it that Zoro winds up doing, this was the cool part, right? Demon Aura, 9 sword style, Asura, or Ashura, however you want to pronounce it with it, if you want to do like Ashura. Azura, I believe, is actually the way it's pronounced, so I played a game called Azura's Wrath, and they referred to it as Ashura the whole time. But look at Zoro, though, just going and just getting ready over there, and you can just see this, like, demonic fucking aura behind him that he's, I guess, projecting, or that he's actually able to pull out to go to that next level. And Kaku's just trying to do whatever he can, and he's just like, wow, he turned his slicing attack into mist, and he's like, and then Zoro, I love this, pain and suffering, that is the path that lies before you. Ashura Silver Mist! And he just goes all out with a double page spread attack over here. And I mean, and you can just see, look at, there's just the blood coming from everywhere. Now, he made Kaku bleed a little bit earlier in the chapter, but this one I think Kaku just could not prepare for. And it looks like he's got arms popping out and swords popping out everywhere. And I'm just thinking, man, that is so cool! I love it! And it's really neat to see, of course, in these battles, that of course how the chapter ends off over, but it is neat to see in these battles, especially these big prominent battles, between guys, like, really a lot of people wound up going, a lot of the Straw Hats wound up developing new movesets and going to the next level. I mean, you've got Luffy with, with Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. You've got Zoro, obviously, with being able to pull out this crazy, Asura's Wrath, a 9 sword style. You've got Sanji over there that's going and doing his devil leg kick. Chopper wound up taking the 3rd Rumble Ball and turning into a goddamn crazed wildebeest over there, we got to see Frankie obviously fight, which was very cool, because that was the first time we'd really seen a lot of his moveset, other than the brief fight that he had with Luffy, some chapters ago in Water 7. Nami as well really seemed to have a good hold of how to use the climb attack, and really, from a couple chapters into that kind of drawn out battle as it went back and forth to other things that were going on, was able to go and obviously overcome and beat, Khalifa. And I thought it was very cool. So far, it's just very cool. I can't wait to see what's to come, obviously, because we still have the... I don't even know if this battle's over yet, but it looks like Kaku's at least going to be damaged if he's not taken and knocked the fuck out, So that's how the chapter ends off over here. And my chapter question for you, brothers and sisters, is, out of all the new movesets that we've seen from each one of the Straw Hats, which one is your favorite, your personal favorite? And it could, and there's no wrong answer, obviously it's just a matter of opinion, but it could be based on who your favorite character is, or just, a character that maybe was previously not your favorite, but now, when you saw this new moveset or this new move that they used in particular, I just want to know what your favorite one has been so far. Certainly I have mine. I really think that, I think it's a close tie between Luffy and obviously, the kind of gearing up, the Gear 2nd, which we still haven't seen fully that much of, and I think probably, and I think it's a close tie though for second for me between Zoro and Sanji's moves, because they're both just wicked cool. You know what I mean? I think Sanji's probably though because he hasn't had that much of development as far as new moves that he's used, and I think his to me is a little more profound. But Anyway, want to hear in the comments down below what your opinion is and what your thoughts are on that, what your favorite move is from your favorite character, or just favorite move period in this particular arc. So, feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation. Yep, so remember to follow me on my other channels as well as Facebook and Twitter. Yep.